Emily Drinkard, an American soul and gospel singer, was better known by her stage name, Cissy Houston. Houston was a founding member of the R&B group The Sweet Inspirations and provided background vocals for Roy Hamilton, Dionne Warwick, Aretha Franklin, Elvis Presley, and Chaka Khan, among other performers. In 1970, Houston started a solo career and won 2 Grammy Awards for traditional gospel albums. Houston was the cousin of opera singer Leontyne Price, the aunt of singers Dionne Warwick and Dee Warwick, and the mother of singer and actress Whitney Houston. Bobbi Kristina Brown, Whitney Houston's only child, was grandmothered by Houston as well. Early life. On September 30, 1933, Emily Drinkard was born in Newark, New Jersey, the 8th and last child of Nicholas Drinkard, 1895–1952, and Delia May Drinkard, née McCaskill, 1901–1941. Her older siblings included the brothers William, 1918–2003, Handsome, 1925–1986, Nicky, 1929–1992, and Larry, 1931–2012, and the sisters Lee, 1920–2005, Marie, 1922–2007, and Anne, 1927–2003. Nicholas Drinkard, the father of Houston, was born to Susan Bell Drinkard, née Fuller, who was of Dutch and African American origin. John Drinkard, Jr., his father, was descended from Native Americans. In Blakely, Georgia, the Drinkard family possessed a sizable farm during a period when big landholdings by black people were uncommon. In order to settle a close relative's ongoing legal issues, they sold tiny parcels of land over time, eventually depleting the asset. During the Great Migration, Houston's family moved to New Jersey after the birth of his 3 oldest siblings. Houston and her siblings were encouraged to sing by her father, who also stressed the importance of education and church involvement for their kids. Delia, Sissy's mother, was 5 years old when she suffered a stroke in 1938 and passed away 3 years later from a cerebral hemorrhage. When Houston was 18, his father passed away in March 1952 from stomach cancer. After moving in with her elder sister Lee and her husband Mansell Warwick, Sissy moved out. Mansell Warwick Jr., a boy, and Marie Dionne and Delia Juanita, D. Warwick, 2 daughters, were the Warwicks' 3 children. The soprano Leontyne Price is a cousin of Drinkard. Houston, who was raised Methodist Episcopal, claimed to have found Christ when she was 14 years old. Houston finished high school at Southside. Career. Houston's singing career started in 1938 when she joined the gospel singing group the Drinkard Four, together with her brothers Larry and Nicky and sister Anne. The group was eventually joined by Marie Drinkard Epps, and Drinkard Moss, and Lee, who would go on to become the mother of singers Marie Dionne Warwick and Delia Juanita, D. Warwick. The group was then titled the Drinkard Singers. Cissy Houston debuted on TV Gospel Time while she was a performer on Drinkard Singers. Houston and the Drinkard Singers were among the first gospel acts to release a gospel album on a major label when they recorded a live album for RCA called A Joyful Noise. They thereafter continued to sing frequently at New Hope Baptist Church. Additionally, the Drinkard Singers found popularity when they played at the Newport Jazz Festival in Carnegie Hall. Along with her niece D. Warwick and partner Doris Troy, she founded the Sweet Inspirations in 1963, just before giving birth to her daughter Whitney Houston. Later, the roster included Myrna Smith, Estelle Brown, and Sylvia Shemwell, all under contract with Atlantic Records. The Sweet Inspirations supported a wide range of performers with backing vocals in the middle of the 1960s, including Dusty Springfield, Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Lou Rawls, The Drifters, and Houston's niece Dionne Warwick. They were featured on the song Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. Houston did the descant on the hit song Ain't No Way by Aretha Franklin. Background vocals for the Jimi Hendrix Experience's 1967 song, Burning of the Midnight Lamp, were provided by the Sweet Inspirations. They were hired in 1969 to provide backing vocals for American musician Elvis Presley when he returned to performing live in Las Vegas in July and August. Presley would frequently declare, "They really live up to their name, ladies and gentlemen, the Sweet Inspirations," when introducing them during performances. The live albums All Shook Up and Live in Las Vegas feature a number of these performances. Houston's last performance with the Sweet Inspirations was a tribute to Elvis Presley. Her children were becoming bigger, so she made the decision to give up touring and concentrate on her recording artist career. Cecily Blair recorded This Is My Vow, her first secular solo album, for M&M Records in 1963. She then followed it up with Bring Him Back, B/W, World of Broken Hearts, on Congress in 1966. Released on Cap Records in 1967, Don't Come Running to Me, B/W, One Broken Heart for Sale, was her last solo song before she recorded with the Sweet Inspirations. Her name is spelt Cissy Houston on these early singles. Houston recorded her solo debut album Presenting Cissy Houston in 1969 after signing a recording contract with Commonwealth United Records. The album was released in 1970. It featured a number of well-received hits, such as renditions of Be My Baby and I'll Be There, which both reached the R&B charts. In 1970, Houston's contract was sold to Janus Records after the publication of her debut album. The original recording of Jim Weatherly's Midnight Train to Georgia was one of the singles she recorded in the early 1970s. It went on to become a #1 success for Gladys Knight and the Pips. She also recorded another album and additional tracks. She recorded music for Janus Records up to 1975. Houston contributed backup vocals to the funky disco song Hijack, 1975, album Discotheque, 1975, and album Surprise, 1976, by jazz flautist Herbie Mann. Houston joined with Private Stock Records in 1977 and collaborated on 3 albums with producer/arranger Michael Zager. In 1979, her major disco song, Think It Over, peaked at number 32 on the Billboard R&B chart. This was featured in the second. She placed second and took home the Most Outstanding Performance Award in 1979 while representing the United States at the World Popular Song Festival with the song, You're the Fire. This was also included in her disco-influenced 1980 album Step Aside for a Lady, which was published on Columbia Records, EMI in the UK, but was again produced by Zager. Houston was in high demand as a session musician with some of the most popular recording artists in the world because of her adaptable cross-genre singing style. Houston recorded the background vocals for Kai Winding's original version of Time Is on My Side, which was issued by Verve Records in October 1963. Houston also did the background vocals for Dionne Warwick and D.D. Warwick. In the 1972 song Mother and Child Reunion, by Paul Simon, she sang backing. On Bette Midler's 1972 first album, The Divine Miss M, Houston provided backup vocals. The multi-platinum Heart Like a Wheel album by Linda Ronstadt, which peaked at #1 on Billboard's pop and country album charts in early 1975, included Houston as the lead vocalist in 1974. Houston appeared on 3 tracks, Mexican Divorce, All Kinds of People, and One Less Bell to Answer, from Burt Bacharach's 1971 self-titled solo album. She collaborated with jazz flutist Herbie Mann in 1975 and 1976 on 3 Atlantic albums, Discotheque, Waterbed, and Surprises. She was featured on 3 tracks, Violet Don't Be Blue, Easter Rising, and J.J. Cale's Cajun Moon. Throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, Sissy performed often at clubs in New York City, including as Michael's, Sweetwater's, 7th Avenue South, and Fat Tuesday, in addition to her role as choirmaster at New Hope Baptist Church in Newark, New Jersey. Her daughter and backing vocalist Whitney Houston began to sing solos with Sissy's band more and more. They would work together on Ain't No Way, which was initially intended to be a song by Cissy Houston and Aretha Franklin. Whitney sung Aretha while Sissy sang Sissy. How Sweet It Is, To Be Loved by You, was featured on Houston's Face to Face album, which won the Grammy Award for Best Traditional Soul Gospel Album in 1996. She wrote a song for the gospel soundtrack album of the movie The Preacher's Wife, which starred Whitney Houston, her daughter, that same year. She received her second Grammy in 1998 for the album He Letteth Me. Following that, she kept releasing sporadic secular music. In 1987, Houston and her daughter Whitney recorded a duet called I Know Him So Well, which was a rendition of the original song by Barbara Dickson and Elaine Paige from the Broadway musical Chess. In early 1989, this song was also released as a single, the sixth and last one from Whitney's album Whitney to be released as a single, in some European countries. She collaborated with Chuck Jackson on the 1992 album I'll Take Care of You, which had both solo and duet tracks. Houston collaborated with her niece Dionne Warwick and daughter Whitney Houston to sing the song Family First in 2006 for the film Daddy's Little Girls soundtrack. In 2010, Whitney, Sissy's daughter who won the Entertainment Award, and Sissy attended the third annual BET Honors. Sissy sang Bridge Over Troubled Water during her daughter's 2012 BET Music Awards tribute. At the age of 80, Sissy sang backup vocals for Aretha Franklin during their standing ovation rendition of Adele's Rolling in the Deep and Ain't No Mountain High Enough on The Late Show with David Letterman on September 29, 2014. Houston served as the music minister of New Hope Baptist Church in Newark for more than 50 years. She was the inspiration for the McDonald's Gospel Fest, which she frequently headlined. Personal life and death. The NBA basketball player and DePaul University Athletic Hall of Famer Gary Garland was born in 1957, the son of Houston and Freddie Garland, who were married in 1955. At the age of 24, Houston began dating John Russell Houston Jr. in early 1958. Their relationship resulted in the birth of two children, Whitney, 1963 to 2012, a world-famous singer, actress, and entertainer, and Michael, born 1961, a composer and road manager. John was still wed to Elsie Hamilton, his first wife, in the early years of their union. Sissy and John got married in April 1964, the month after Houston's first marriage ended in divorce. When he first met Sissy, John Houston Jr., a World War II veteran of the Army, was operating a truck and cab business. In 1959, he made his debut in the entertainment industry as the manager of his niece's in-laws vocal group, the Gospelaries. He managed the Sweet Inspirations after his wife founded them until 1969, when Sissy quit the group to pursue a solo career. John and Sissy's marriage became tumultuous when he narrowly avoided a heart attack in 1976, and in 1977 they decided to have a formal separation, but they stayed wed until 1991. Houston possessed 9 great-grandchildren and 6 grandkids. When Whitney, her daughter, started having drug addiction problems in the late 1990s, Sissy organized many interventions to get Whitney into treatment centers. She once convinced Whitney to check herself into Hope for Women Residential and Therapeutic Services in Atlanta, Georgia, with the help of 2 sheriffs and a court order. Remembering Whitney, My Story of Love, Loss, and the Night the Music Stopped, Sissy's 2013 book, detailed a sight she observed in 2005 when she went to Whitney and then-husband Bobby Brown's house. The entrance and walls were painted with odd figures and large, staring eyes. Following what she saw to be many unsettling events, Sissy decided to return with police enforcement and carry out an intervention. Whitney would go to programs for healing and rehabilitation. Whitney Houston passed away at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California, on February 11, 2012. Following her daughter's passing, Sissy voiced her disapproval of the way the media covered the incident, saying, "The media are awful. People have traveled from place to place, and they have no idea what they are talking about," the woman said. "Those whom I haven't seen in 2 decades. They assume they know everything when they arrive, but that is untrue. However, I'm happy to know that God will take care of everything in His own manner." At the age of 91, Cissy Houston passed away at her Newark, New Jersey, home on October 7, 2024. She had been receiving Alzheimer's care through hospice. We thank you for your time and attention, and that is all the information we currently have about Cissy Houston. I hope this Cissy Houston information was helpful. Click the bell icon and subscribe to our feed to receive more content similar to this one so you don't miss anything.